Meeting will come to order. You want to say the prayer?
Thank you, Judge. Will you bow your heads with me? Dear Lord, as we come before you, we're thankful for this day and your many blessings, and thankful, God, that you look over and take care of us because we need it. We ask you to forgive us of our shortcomings and our sins, dear Lord. We ask you, Lord, to bless this meeting. May it be done in accordance to thy will. Give us the understanding and stuff that we may better serve the people of Pike County. We ask this all in the name of Jesus Christ and for his sake, and amen.
All right. The meeting will come to order. Roll call, please.
Judge Daskins.
Here.
Magistrate Anderson.
Here.
Magistrate Kempton.
Here.
Magistrate Murphy.
Here.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dotson. Here. Magistrate Varney.
Here.
Leo, will you lead us in the prayer pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Approval of minutes of August the 7th, 2018 and August the 21st, 2018 for approval, discussion.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy. Yes. Magistrate Robinson. Yes. Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Daskins.
Yes. Proclamation declaring the week of September the 23rd, 2018 National Gear Up Week in Pike County. Buddy Probes College and Career Navigator for Gear Up East Kentucky, please come to the podium and tell us about the Gear Up program in Pike County and East Kentucky.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I know most of you already, but just for the record, I am Buddy Forbes. I'm a college and career navigator with Gear Up East Kentucky. We are here today to talk about National Gear Up Week, which is coming up next week. So Gear Up is a grant through Berea College. We have Partners for Education, which is a program through Berea College that serves as kind of an umbrella for all these different grants that reach out into the communities. And we work under the Gear Up grant, which is gaining early awareness and readiness for undergraduate programs. So we work in the Pike County school system with the students to show them all of their options that they have with post-secondary education and what they can do with their careers. And what that looks like in Pike County is we have college and career navigators, which is what I do, and we have more over there. College and career navigators, you can just raise your hands up. What we do, we're kind of like guidance counselors. We kind of build bridges for the students and the parents to show them what they can do after high school, and we serve as a way to make sure that they graduate high school. So we work on attendance with them. We make sure that they show up for school. We hit hard on making sure that they know their options because a lot of them don't. So we show them which colleges they can go to. We talk about affording colleges with them and their parents. We work really big on attendance to make sure they show up for school, and high school graduation to make sure that they can get finished with high school, and then we focus on the colleges after that. And then we have academic interventionists, which you guys can raise your hands now. They serve more on the academic side. They work with making sure that the students are achieving in the classroom what they know that they can. So they work really close with them one-on-one, whereas some of the teachers may not be able to. So if they're having some issues in class, they can pull them out and work closer with them so that they can better achieve their goals. And what this week is all about is just making sure that the community and making sure that these students and their parents understand why we're in the school system, because we're trying to make sure that they can succeed. And our first step is by making sure that you guys know what we're doing. So that's why we're doing this National Gear Up Week, and it's happening all throughout the schools in the county, and we're doing some dress-up days and other things like that to kind of get the word out there. And I think that's about all that I can say about it, unless you guys have any specific questions.
How long have we had Gear Up? Did I miss that?
This is in this grant, this is our second year of a 7-year grant. So this grant is good for 7 years, and we are in the second year now.
Second year of it? Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Who's going to read the proclamation?
Kyle, will you please read the proclamation?
Thank you, Judge. National Gear Up Week in Pike County. Whereas the Gaining Early Awareness and Readiness for Undergraduate Programs, Gear Up, is a federally funded competitive grant program designed to increase the number of low-income students who are prepared to enter and succeed in post-secondary education. And whereas Gear Up serves low-income, minority, and disadvantaged students and their families from underserved communities who might be the first person in their family to go to college, and whereas Gear Up provides 6 or 7-year grants to states or partnerships to deliver support and resources to students and their families, starting no later than the 7th grade, middle school, through high school and onward to fulfill their dreams of attaining a post-secondary education. And whereas Gear Up includes interventions such as tutoring, mentoring, rigorous academic preparation, financial education, and college scholarships to improve access to higher education for low-income, minority, and disadvantaged first-generation students and their families. And whereas Gear Up is built around public-private partnerships, enlisting the formidable resources of government, business, and community groups to support low-income students as they prepare to enter and succeed in college. And whereas Gear Up East Kentucky is a partnership of the Pike County Schools District and Berea College Partners for Education, and whereas Gear Up East Kentucky serves 3,568 students in grades 2 through 8, and whereas the week of September the 23rd, 2018 has been declared National Gear Up Week, and whereas Pike County is committed to providing a quality education for all students, helping them to achieve their highest potential. Now, therefore, I, William Deskins, Pike County Judge Executive and the Pike County Fiscal Court, do hereby proclaim the week of September 23rd, 2018 as National Gear Up Week in Pike County, and we urge all citizens to join us in this special observance. Witness this, our hand, this the 18th day of September, 2018.
I need a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Yes.
Magistrate Compton,
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy, Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Barney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Right, yes.
Judge, I think they want us to go up front and have a picture made or something.
Okay.
Go, guys. Okay. Do you wanna, yeah, just go up here.
Yeah,
and
go
all
up
their-
there and do it.
Yeah, right
Okay.
here, yeah. They'll never forget us. Are you all coming? Yes, no, no?
What is it? Bill's gonna do anything? Take your shoes off. want this group? You're up. Supposed to be assistant check. What are you doing that for? For this winter, I guess. Buddy, I tried to get, I had to do nothing. That's what tell him I've got to know. You don't straighten up. Somebody's going to jail, and if somebody had an accident there, lose a lot of money.
So, good morning, and let me just say thank you very much to Pike County for doing this for us. The support that we have had from Pike County and Pike County schools has absolutely been phenomenal. Buddy did a great job explaining our program and what we do. And I guess if I were to think about the only other additional thing that I could offer to you is maybe some information on the economic impact. So if I think about the economic impact to Pike County schools, that is close to $1 million annually. We have 18 full-time staff in your schools. So every school that has an 8th grade, we've got 2 people working in that school. And so those folks are a combination of Pike County School Board employees and Berea College school employees. Berea College. So with our Berea College folks, even though we're hired through Berea College, we're still local. We believe in place-based service, which means that all of your staff are either from Pike County area or around the Pike County area. And we do pay into the Pike County taxes. So the impact is very great. In addition to the staff members we have, we award Pike County schools with what we call a direct service dollars, and those are monies that they can spend on students. This, in our first year, the award was $160,000 for Pike County schools, and that included services for things like tutoring, college visits, technology, equipment, just things that the schools kind of needed and haven't had the money for due to all the economic problems that we've had with the loss of coal severance dollars. Are there any other questions I can answer? Anything else I can say that would help you have a better understanding?
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Yes, thank you. Adoption of a resolution requesting that the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet designate a section of Highway Kentucky Route 122 in the honor of Mark, Sloan, and Stephen Stones. And I had this fellow to work for me in '74, started for the county, and he's one of the best employees that I've had, of many more. So, Martin, do you have anything you want to say?
Just briefly, Judge Destins, without you, sir, I probably wouldn't be standing here.
Thank you.
But in 1974, I went to work for you as a deputy sheriff. And in 1975, I think I was one of the first deputies ever from this county to go through the police academy training offered in Richmond, Kentucky at Eastern University. But let me say this. I want to offer thanks to my Father above, who gave me the strength and guidance and knowledge to accompany these things. I have a whole lot of good friends here today, many of whom are seated right here in this lineup, and I thank you for each one of you. You've been good to me, and I honor getting to speak just a few words in front of you. I served 40 years in law enforcement and left in reasonably good health. I was really thankful for that. I don't think that I had any black marks whatsoever against my career, serving here in the county many years and also serving in state government. But the thing today that we're addressing is a band that I became a member of back in 1966. And this band, through a 52-year period, has done a lot of positive things for this area of the country. We performed in Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, and in Tennessee maybe 2 or 3 times. And as the resolution will show, we were able to perform with some of the major acts in the music business in this country. I'm thankful for the blessing that the good Lord gave me and the other guys in the group to be able to do this. There's so many people that I can think, but I just don't have time to do it all. There was a gentleman at Robinson Creek that I aggravated to death when I was a young boy, going to his house, wanting him to teach me how to play guitar. His name was Johnny Coleman. He still lives at Robinson Creek. And my friend, the Honorable District Judge Darrell Mullins, is a major part of what happened to me and our band down through the years. I'd like to have $1 for every time he and I played together. And the other guys that were in the original group. And you folks, many of you all know these people. There was a boy from Robinson Creek named Scott Fleming who lives in Georgia now. He was a member of the original group. Freddie Gillipin, whose mother was well known as being involved in the local political scene. Sally Jo Gillipin. Freddie Gillipin was a member of the group. Tommy Chafin, who lives in Huntington now, but at that time he lived over at Meda, and his mom was a well-known author in our county. Wrote many books and poems. And I can't forget the one and only Dr. Don Bevins, who has been gone for a few years, but he was a member of the original group. And we were able to do some things that, looking back over those years, I would have never, ever thought that a country boy from up on Robinson Creek could have met these folks that we played with and traveled to the places that we played and accomplished some of the things that we done. We had 4 45 RPM records out, and that was back in the days when they didn't have the CDs like they have today. Those 445 RPM records were all local radio hits, played on, I think, 12 different radio stations throughout Kentucky, Virginia, and West Virginia. But through it all, my wife, who's seated right back there, Paige Sloan, has been with me. We've been married 40 years now, and I thank God for that. She's been a blessing to this old boy. And I had a good friend come over from Virginia. He served 30 years in law enforcement. And he's the person that introduced this resolution when it was first brought to the attention of our good friend that works down at the highway department. And we started this procedure, which has taken us now a few months. But Bill, I'm thankful for the good friend you was to me, and every one of these other folks here, many of whom I work with, and all the years that the good Lord watched over me and blessed me and blessed the other guys in the group. Of course, we've lost some of those guys. Matter of fact, there's 4 guys that were in our group that have passed on. That's how the years deal with people sometimes, and you do the best you can. But I'm thankful that you gave me an opportunity to come before this esteemed body to say a few words. I hope y'all enjoy some of the photos up there that's running across the screen. And if you would just kind of have a little mercy on this old country boy, it would be deeply, deeply appreciated. And I thank you very much for your time, and God bless each and every one of you.
Well, listen, I appreciate you so much. You've worked so much and done a great job. I've never had anything negative brought up about you and your work. So I've got Charlie here to read a letter regarding the resolution and the proposed resolution. Just hang on a minute.
Okay, one other thing real quickly. You know, through the last 20 years, I've sang many times at funerals, local funerals in our area, and at many of our local churches. And I want to say I'm very thankful for the churches and what they do to serve our area. They're there for people when they're in their time of need, when times are really tough for them. Thank God for them.
All right. Charlie, read that proclamation.
I will. First, I want to introduce Larry Yates back there. He's the man that initiated this resolution, and give him a special thanks, okay? I have a letter here from Darrell Mullins. This letter is in support of naming a section of highway at Robinson Creek, Kentucky to honor the efforts of Mark Sloan, and the Stepping Stones. This group of musicians formed in 1966 by Martin Sloan and other local musicians performing music in various venues in Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, and Tennessee. They continue to perform to the present day, and to my knowledge, are the longest performing musical group in eastern Kentucky. The one constant in this amazing accomplishment is the presence and efforts of Martin Sloan, a founding member of the Stepping Stones, who led the group with guitar, harmonica player. He was a singer, and throughout the decades. Their music evolved through the years and incorporated the musical heritage of the area, mixed with a unique blend of rock and country. Their musical appeals to the generations who have grown up listening to Mark Sloan and the Stepping Stones. They have supported civic organizations, schools, and the youth of Pike County in eastern Kentucky by providing entertainment for the long list of events and venues. I had intended, this is from Darrell, I had intended to deliver this message in person, but I am attending a judicial conference the week of the Pike County Fiscal Court meets. However, I ask that this letter be made a part of the record of this meeting, and that the Pike Fiscal Court honor the accomplishments of Martin Sloan and the Stepping Stones by naming the section of highway at Robinson Creek in the honor. And this section of highway is between Sugar Camp and Little Robinson. and I have this proclamation. Whereas Mark Sloan and the majority of the founding members of the Stepping Stones were born, reared, and educated in the Robinson Creek area of rural Pike County. And whereas because of the love of music and the desire to fill the need of a growing trend of entertainment, Martin Sloan and the Stepping Stones formed a band in 1966, and to this day, 32 years later, continue to perform. And whereas Martin Sloan and the Stepping Stones released 4 45 RPM records during their career, and whereas from 1968 to the mid-'80s, their records were aired on a total of 12 different radio stations in eastern Kentucky and southwest Virginia. And whereas Mark Sloan currently has 5 music videos playing on YouTube, marksloan.com, that are approaching 1,500 views. And whereas Mark Sloan and the Stepping Stones have appeared on WYMT, Channel 57, Hazard, Kentucky, Channel 11 in Johnson City, Tennessee, and Channel 5 at Harrell, Kentucky. And whereas Mark Sloan and the Stepping Stones have been an opening act for such professional entertainers as Tom T. Hall, Dale Reeves, Mel Street, Little David Wilkins, Ken Mellons, The Drifters, and Billy Joe Royal. Whereas Mark Sloan and the Stepping Stones have performed in numerous Hillbilly Days festivals, local school dances and proms in Kentucky and Virginia, nightclubs in Kentucky, Virginia, and West Virginia, wedding receptions, political rallies, and county fairs in Virginia. And whereas Mark Sloan and the Stepping Stones are most proud of the time they have donated to playing charity benefits, fundraising events for the Fraternal Order of Police and the Shriners Organization, local funerals, and nursing homes. And whereas Mark Sloan and the Stepping Stones have always been committed to entertaining and serving their community, dedicating a large portion of their lives entertaining thousands of people. And whereas the designation of this highway will serve as an important reminder, or constant reminder, of Mark Sloan and the Stepping Stones for their lifetime of service and devotion to their community, and for the many years of joy they have brought to the people of Pike County and the surrounding counties. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pike County Fiscal Court has asked the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet to designate a section of Kentucky 122 from Little Robinson Creek, mile point 6.8, to Sugar Camp Branch, mile point 9.9, the Martin Sloan and the Stepping Stones Highway.
All right, I need a motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Campton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Judge Deskins and Magistrate present the resolution to Martin Sloan and his guests and take a photo, so we'll move around to the front.
It'll make another picture.
Come on, Martin and your buddy.
Come on.
We're gonna go try to.
There's a sheriff here somewhere. Acknowledgement of receipt of the Pike County Sheriff's settlement for 2017 property, gas, and unmined coal. Where is the sheriff?
Hey, Judge, the sheriff called and said that he couldn't be here today, so he asked me to present these audit reports. So I talked with the auditor with Pikeville Accounting and Tax Service, and he said that there were no findings. He said everything came out really well, nothing to bring out on the audit reports. He said the sheriff's office and Debbie Collins did a really good job.
Okay, all right. I need, go ahead.
They need an individual motion for each audit report. So the first one would be to acknowledge receipt of the sheriff's 2017 unmined coal taxes settlement statement and authorization for issuance of a quietus for the sheriff's office.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Magistrate Barney.
Yes.
Judge Diskins.
Yes.
The second one is to acknowledge receipt of the sheriff's 2017 gas, oil, limestone, sand, and gravel settlement statement and authorization for issuance of a quietus for the sheriff's office.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Magistrate Barney.
Yes.
Judge Diskins.
Yes.
The third and final one is to acknowledge receipt of the sheriff's 2017 property tax settlement statement and authorization for issuance of a quietus for the sheriff's office.
I need a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Magistrate Barney.
Yes.
Judge Diskins.
Yes. Pike County Tourism update. Tony Tackett, the Executive Director, please come to the podium and give us an update.
Thank you, Judge Deskins, magistrates. We got 3 topics today. Our first topic is going to be about the Kentucky State Fair. Once again, we want to thank you for all the diligent work that you and the county government put into making sure that our booth was outstanding. Paul, as always, you and your men go above and beyond. This year was a very trial and running with what we felt would be the best of Eastern Kentucky. This beautiful 4-lane out here that we travel every day to and from was associated with that booth as Eastern Kentucky. Pike County took the initiative to coordinate and help fund. And our 4th of July event at the Hilton Garden Inn brought enough funds in that it would totally take care of 11 days of hand-eye artists and singer-songwriters from US 23. Here's some of your men putting the booth together. That's our first place win of Eastern Kentucky's first place win in Pride of the County. That's what the booth looked like before we ever started. You know, it was one of the largest booths in state fair history. And to us, When we can tell our stories and tell our heritage and our culture, and we can highlight our theaters and our beautiful outdoor adventures and our new Dueling Barrels distillery all in one pancake booth to be able to promote, and then we take our own people to perform and show hand-to-eye artistry, you can't go wrong. But it's a team effort between all the way from Letcher County, Pike County, Johnson County, Floyd County, and Boyd County. And our ultimate goal was to showcase the greatest asset that we have in Eastern Kentucky, which is our people. And so thank you for that, and thank you, Paul, once again. Our office could never do what we do without you. Bob Scott is going to give you an update on a new statue, and Jay Shepard is going to give you an update on Hatfield-McCoy Heritage Days.
Just to step back on what Tony said, I think we need to recognize what a great staff we have as far as tourism as a three-person shop, Jay, Lena, and Tony. They won first place at the state fair. That was pretty good competition to have. Tony, how much office help does the Louisville office have, staff?
Louisville's office has 72 employees and a budget of $25 million.
And our budget is?
$300,000.
So, I hope we all recognize what a team effort we have here. They all work well together. But in saying that, just giving you an update on some things that's going on. Starting at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, there will be a church service, the same as there's been the past few years there at the McCoy well site. Ron McCoy will be in, Billy Hatfield, Rio Hatfield. Services will begin at 10, along with music. If you're able to come, I know that interferes with church services in the area, but the reason we have it at that time is because of road traffic and sound. But in saying that, also going in at that time, you know, I've met several people over the years that's been really enthused with the Hatfields-McCoys, especially away from here. Example, State Fair, lady looking through a brochure. I noticed her looking at horses. Devil Ansel sitting on a horse in one of the photographs that I had there. I said, well, you must like horses. She said, yes, I do. She says, I've got 4 here. I said, really? She said, yes. She said, but I like that feud. I said, really? I said, where are you from? She said, Africa. She had 4 horses there at the show. But in saying that, after 112 years, Randall has a statue. Met Travis Williams at the State Fair last year. Travis does wood carving. I noticed his work appeared to me to be outstanding. He does a lot of UK stuff, bears, owls, has done some stuff for Jenny Wiley. And he was very much excited and involved in the history of the Hatfield-McCoys. And I asked him, I said, do you like challenges? He said, yeah, I guess. He said, why? I said, have you ever done one of a life-size person? He said, no. I said, if you want the challenge. He said, I'll do it. So as I said, after 112 years, Randall does have a statue. It weighs over 500 pounds. Thank you, Paul, for your support, and your team you have behind you is tremendous. It will be unloaded on Friday and unveiled on Sunday morning. At that time, also, starting at, I have my glasses on here. Of course, we're starting at 10, and then at 11 o'clock, there's a bike trail ride, Hatfield-McCoy ride. Jimmy Bevins is kind of spearheading that. He can give you a little more details probably as to how many people will be attending. And this is a first, and it's something that hopefully we can grow on. The third thing is after the services there at the well and the bike ride leaves, we are going to move over to the hog trial location. If you have not had the opportunity to go in, take time sometime. I was over there yesterday as well as Tony and Jay, and it looks nice. So we came up with the idea, Anderson Hatfield's birthday is next Tuesday. So in honor of his birthday, we're going to start at 1 o'clock, move the entertainment, which is Jason Goebel and who is the other one? Troy Burchett, over there. And we're inviting people, if you want to bring a blanket and your picnic basket, have dinner on the ground, enjoy the music, and enjoy the day. hopefully it's a good event and everyone will enjoy it. But again, Paul, thank you for all that you do, and hope to see you over there at some point. Thank you.
Hey, Judge. Hey, everybody. Bob already touched on some of the things we have planned for Heritage Days this year. But we're bringing in the descendants, Devil Ant's great-grandson, Randall McCoy's children, things like that, to bring them in to kind of tell their stories to the visitors and stuff. We have a Hatfield-McCoy descendants email list that's reaching over 800 people. So what we do when this event comes around, we send them an email blast. They elected to be on that email list, and we tell them all the events that we have available, namely our farmers market event with the pig roast with the Hatfield-McCoy descendants, the things that Bob mentioned and everything. But what we're doing is we're really promoting it this year, the homecoming of the Hatfields and McCoys. We want to do the heritage. We want to dig more into the heritage and the stories, and that's why we have so many of these events that honor the past, like the pig roast. We'll be doing a theater play. We'll do it in here, I believe, recreating the history. And the interesting thing about that is we'll have descendants in that play. So it's a really special. And what we're doing with marketing, of course, we have a rack card. We've done some ads. We have a television commercial. And on Facebook, we put together 3 videos kind of talking about the festival. And what we were able to do, Bob and Tony last year secured footage where that professionally made footage where they interviewed the descendants. So we took clips from that, and as we create these videos for Facebook, it's really talking about their story. So we have them telling their story from their perspective, and it kind of has gained a lot of interest. People want to hear their story, their point of view on what happened in the feud. So that's kind of our selling point. We've found a lot of good response from that, so we're really excited this year. And hopefully everyone, if they have time, to come out this weekend and enjoy some of the events we have planned both in the city and the county, the arm wrestling tournament. Of course, we have all kinds of a variety of events. The Sunday service is something I wouldn't miss. I mean, it's incredible to hear them tell their story and what the feud meant to them. So make sure if you have a time this weekend to come out, and we have all of our events list for it on our website, tourpikecounty.com. So hope to see you out. Thank you.
One thing I forgot to mention, when we leave here, Dueling Barrels has been very kind in working with us. They provided all the tables, the stools, everything we needed there for the state fair. And everything's about relationship and building relationships, good relationships. So when we leave here, we are taking artifacts, some of the artifacts over. They requested those to be there in their location. Naturally, I want them under security and locked, but they wanted those, so we're moving those over so people can enjoy those. So if at some point you're in there, you'll see some of the artifacts that was uncovered by National Geographic. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Tony, thank you and your associates for your work.
Tony, I'd like to say one thing before you sit down. I appreciate everything y'all have done over there at Blackberry, and it's looking good. I guess you've got people there during the week to let people in now, and I think last meeting approved having some security put in there, and I'd like to invite you over to take a look at some of our river trails that we've been able to develop. And maybe you can put some of them on your website and promote the tourism program through that part of the county with kayaks or canoes, whatever that people would want to use, and we're going to try to tie that in. And Bob, I appreciate everything you've done as our representative to bring things over to that area. And it's starting to happen now after many years that we see that part of the county that people never had seen, where it all happened at. And we just thank y'all so much for everything. And again, Paul and his crew, that award couldn't happen hadn't been for them.
Exactly.
And we got to go back and give credit where it's due. And I guess they done a fantastic job developing that scene that you take down each year. And, they look forward to going down and putting it up and taking it down. And we just appreciate all the employees at took part in that. And, you know, I don't know what we'd do in this county if we didn't have somebody like Paul Williamson to keep all of us going and tell us what we need to do. And you know, he's just a fantastic guy. Thank you.
And you know, Hillman, yesterday we were traveling over Hardy Mountain going to the hog trial site, leaving the well site. And county had trash pickups along the 319. We have a motor coach coming in from Roanoke. As I talk to you every time I'm with you, what a motor coach does for the economy. When you take 28 rooms at one hotel for 3 nights, and those people eat 3 meals, and they do all of their shopping and all of their attraction buys, you know, it adds up. And we drove over the mountain yesterday and seeing those people on the side of the road picking up the garbage. It would never make you feel any more prouder knowing that company is arriving and knowing that our people are out there making sure our roadways and our sites are, you know, as a county, we have a lot of historic sites. You're talking about where Rosanna's baby's buried. You're talking about the Papaw Tree site. We could go on and on. And those visitors see that. Those visitors know when they leave one state and they come into Kentucky and they enter Pike County, they know they're in Pike County and they know the difference in the cleanliness. And Paul, all of you, thank you. Always here for you.
Thank you, Tony. All right, authorization to change EQT Way CR 9226 to diversify Way CR 9226. Kyle, would you give us the update on the hearing you had this morning?
Yes, we conducted a hearing at 9:30 this morning, and no one voiced any objection to the changing of EQT Way to Diversified Way.
Okay. All right, I need a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Magistrate Barney.
Yes.
Judge Diskins.
Yes. Adoption of a resolution approving the execution of the 2019 Rural Secondary Program Agreement and accepting all roads and streets in the agreement as being a part of the county road system. I need a motion to approve.
Motion.
All these roads mentioned this was already part of our road system, weren't they? Okay, that kind of threw me when it said we were going to accept any and all of them was talking about. Okay. Yeah. All right.
I need a second.
I need a second.
I'll
second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Diskins.
Yes. Approval to renew 2019 lease PRO 4471 with the Finance Administration Cabinet Department of Facilities and Support Service for property located on 36 Main Street, Phelps Courthouse, Phelps, Kentucky. Cabinet, the Health and Family Services. I need a motion.
It's not the courthouse, it's a building beside of the courthouse. It's the Families and Children's Building, and I think we own the courthouse, don't we, Paul? And this building here is an old fire station that we've got leased out to the Family and Children's people. Motion.
Second.
Do I have a motion and a second?
Yeah.
And thank you.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Yes. Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Diskins.
Yes. Approval to renew 2019 lease PRO 4387 with the Finance and Administrative Cabinet Department of Facilities and Support Services for property located at 25230 US Highway 119 North, suit 111 Belfry Courthouse, Belfry, Kentucky, Cabinet for Health and Family Services. I need a motion.
Judge, I got a few questions on this.
Okay.
I would like to see the original lease on that, exactly what they are leasing. We got into a little controversy over something. Number one, they don't pay us no money, do they? It's zero. The only one gets money is Hillman over there at Phelps.
They pay a little bit of rent, I think, Dr. Paul, but it's
$5,400 a year.
it's not much, and I think we pay the power bill and things on that, don't we, Paul? I don't really know.
Okay.
But it's a rental agreement on that building, isn't it?
I'd like the boundaries to define exactly what it is that we're letting them have in this lease. Irby, we had a couple of questions about some things.
Well, do you want to find out and let us know?
Yes, if we can table this, I mean, when do we have to have this done by what, October?
Yeah, we'll table it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, approval to renew 2019 lease, PRO 321 with the Finance and Administrative Code, Department of Facilities and Support Service. A property located at the Coal Hollow, Island Creek, Pikeville, Kentucky State Police Firing Range. I helped get that range started. I need a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Approval of the maintenance contract. Please give us the details.
I think it's on Terry Rogers' contract. Is that not right, Frankie?
I think that's what it is, Frank. Yeah.
All right, I need a motion to
I'll
approve.
make a motion.
Same, isn't it?
Okay.
I think Terry had actually asked to increase his contract back to what you originally approved it at the first of last year, and then he lowered it. We're paying him $1,100 a month, I think, right now, and he had asked for it to go back up to $1,250, which is what you initially wanted to approve for him. So this contract would be for $1,250 a month, was what he was asking the court for.
I'll make a motion to.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Yes. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Approval to accept a gift from real property located at Swang Camp Branch.
I think that's what it is.
Swing Camp.
Branch of Big Creek and authorization to execute the deed. Herbie, will you please read this?
Yeah, well, we've received a letter from a gentleman in California stating that he had no heirs and that he would like to make a irrevocable gift to the county. And I've researched it out. It's down in Big Creek. It's got a structure on it that probably Bobby can tell you more about. It's not costing the county anything. It's been valued at $20,000. I've went down and checked. Everything is fine as far as the title is, so I have no problems with recommending that we accept this gift and acknowledge it from this fellow whose name is Frederick M. Lowe. And I've already written him a letter telling him that we'll bring it up at this meeting and prepared the deed here, so I would recommend that we authorize the judge to sign the deed in the consideration part so that we can send it back out to him for execution. Bobby, do you want to explain what's there?
Yeah, one thing, and I don't know if it's the correct pronunciation of it or not, but since I was a little boy, they call it Swinge Camp. It's called Swins Camp up in there. Swins Camp is a real long, wide holler that there was some extensive mining done in it. A railroad had ran up in it. There was a loadout facility one time up there in Swins Camp. Several gas wells and pumping stations. You can ride a four-wheeler up there right now along the gas well roads and stuff for miles and miles and miles. And that's one of the things that I thought that it looked something that would be presentable to the fiscal court to be in possession of, that this old house is an old stone house that was built in early 1900s, 1903, 1904. The structure is still sound. The roof is caved in on it. The windows are broke out. They've ransacked the inside of it and stuff. I think the Big Creek Volunteer Fire Department 2 or 3 years ago used it as a haunted house through Halloween and stuff, and drew a big crowd down there every night for that thing. But that structure is there, and there's a small, looked like a canning house or something that's out from it, and hits stone too. All the stone was carved out of the mountains right there where that's at too. So it's really grew up and real shaggy looking, but I think it might be some valuable property for Pike County down the road. A trailhead or something set up there, because I can go up in the head of Swins Camp and cross over and be in Martin County, Kentucky real easy. So, you make the motion you want me to. I make a motion then that we do accept this.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Barney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Approval for the purchase of a 21,000 gallon frac tank for the Pike County landfill. Bobby Mullins, will you give us some information?
Yeah, Judge, it's just another tank that Department of Waste Management is requesting for us to purchase to bring us into compliance with the 15-day storage of leachate in case we run into an emergency and have to have it. We have to have the tank before we be in compliance.
Bobby, didn't we just buy 2 tanks from the city?
You bought 2 tanks from the city. Each one of them held 53,000 gallons. You bought 1 frac tank held 21,000 gallons, and we've got to have another.
How much is this one gonna cost?
The tank is $12,000 and the delivery is $800.
I need a motion to approve it.
Would this be hit on the frac tanks, Bob?
They tell me it is, if they don't come up with something else. But as far as I know, it is.
I need a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Who got the second?
Second.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. I need a motion to accept Magistrate's road work.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Establish a date for trick or treat in Pike County.
Yeah.
Halloween is on Wednesday. People go to church on Wednesday nights. Let's have it on Tuesday, October the 30th, 2018, from 6 to 8 p.m. The city of Pikeville is having trick or treat on Tuesday nights. Need a motion.
Motion.
Second. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Awarding of bids. Pam?
Bid number 32280, it's on the 5
one was Site 1, State Range Road. First bid was Larry Young for $2,500. Pikeville Paving, $8,500. Prater Construction, $4,000. Site 2 was Kentucky 194 Grapevine, Larry Young, $4,800. Pikeville Paving, $24,000. Prater Construction, no bid. Site 3 was Tom's Branch, Larry Young, $5,000. Pikeville Paving, $23,950. Prater Construction, no bid. Site 4, State Highway 119, Larry Young, $850. Pikeville Paving, $8,500. Did you hear me?
Do we need a bid on that?
She's still reading them.
She's still reading, but Judge.
Yeah, then Prater Construction, $2,800. Site 5, US 52 South Williamson, Larry Young, $1,800. Pikeville Paving, $8,000. Prater Construction, no bid. It is recommended to award the bid to all 5 dumps to the lowest evaluated bidder, Larry Young, having the lowest evaluated bid at $14,950 on all 5 sites.
Now, Larry's the one that's done the others for us too,
Yeah,
right?
he did.
Daggone. The one at Highway 119, is that the one that's down there close to the West Virginia line? Is anybody aware of that?
That's Jimmy Dale.
That's the one we're talking about, Jimmy Dale? That's US, all right, US 52 South Williams. That's the one I'm thinking about, isn't it? Okay. Goes up in that, where that Valley Field's at? Man, I hope he can do that. Okay.
Do we need a motion to approve?
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Magistrate's road work. I need a motion to accept magistrate's road work. Pardon?
We already did that one.
Already done it?
You did that.
Magistrate's comments.
Judge, the only thing I have, I'd just like to ask everyone to keep the family of Chris Harris in their prayers and thoughts. His son was involved in a terrible accident, and I think I've been reading some bits and pieces in the paper, and I think he may be showing some signs of improvement, but I'd just like to ask everyone to keep praying for that family. That's all I have.
Charlie?
I don't have any comments at this time.
Leo?
Not this time.
Hillman?
Hey, Judge, I got a few. Jimmy, this papers we have on the FEMA, is that the buyouts on the houses over there that we've been so long trying to get?
I reckon we'll go into executive session then.
I just done a deal now, everything's finalized, we have to vote to approve anything. The buyouts, we don't have to do anything on it.
We've got to approve under treasurer's business. He handed them to me, and that's why I handed them out. We got to approve to pay those to Frank Knoll.
So it's already, you done had that on there?
It's going to be under treasurer's business.
Okay.
We're just approving this to make the payment. I mean, that's it, right?
Right.
What is it? Yeah, we gotta pay 10% or something on the buyout, don't pay nothing? I know these people. That property goes back to the county, right? It's been a long time. But,
So what do we do with the property now, Jim? Do we sell that back, or do we sell that to somebody, or what do we do with it? Okay, so this house that like down there in South Williamson?
Mitigation ain't, can't build on it. We have to maintain keeping it mowed and cut and trimmed and all that.
We're doing that now.
What about that court there where them trailers were? Will that be all county property now, or is after this one is bought?
It will be. That will probably be the last.
Could that be turned into some kind of recreational area for the community, Jim? Yeah, that's a big area there, and I know it's sort of like a park or something that wouldn't be affected. I think, the next administration probably need to look at something like that, because them people over there, they don't have a whole lot in that area there since they changed the road around, and it might be something that they could use. And yeah, it's a big piece of property. And another thing, Judge, I just want to relate to the people out there. We had our first kayak ride, I guess, about a month ago, Tony and Bob, and we probably had about 50 people show up over at the first river trail. This river trail is something that we've been working on for probably 12 years or longer. Summit Engineering done a study, and it showed all the spots on Tug River that a river trail could be put in for people to put their boats in the river. And the Friends of the Tug River, I think it was it Field and Stream, Jim just released a big article about the Tug River and done all the promotion of the Tug River, and I think, Tony, it could be a big asset to the city and the county to promote the kayak, and the people living in that area are real interested in starting some kind of a cabin or rental, and they're all interested in that. And we probably just need to keep going with that. We just finished our last boat ramp in District 5, so it's going on down toward Martin County in Bob's district, and he's getting prepared to start working on his. But I think West Virginia's already put in a ramp or two over on their side, so I think it's going to be one of the big pluses to go along with our ATV trails to be able to tie this together. And I'm hoping to get all this done before January, so the next administration will see what we've been working on over the years and keep the torch going and keep it moving. And I think it's a big plus. And I believe we'll be announcing, we'll have another ride probably in another month or so, and let the people know and be aware that the county's still involved in it, and keep planning and pushing. And I got a road here, Judge. I want to take out the road system. I got a petition. It's over on Blackberry Jackson, there on Hillcrest Drive, and they've signed the paper to remove it out of the road system. And I guess we need to check it out and approve it. And we don't get very many requests to take them out. But there's a reason that the people want it out, and I think we need to do that. And I got some other things we need to talk about in executive session on personnel, but we'll talk about that back there. And there's one thing I think that I need to bring up and see where it goes. When we passed the occupational tax, we promised the people, I did, and I think the court did too, that once we become to where we can remove it, we would. And At the time when we passed the occupational tax, we were told it was a must. We had to do it or the county was going to shut down. Now we have a $2 million surplus, and I think it's time to let the people have a little relief on this and remove this tax, because people are taxed to death. We taxed them on their property, and the occupational tax, it was something that was a must that we did at the time, and I think we can do without it. And I'm going to bring it up here and talk about it a little bit and let the people know that we have an opportunity right now, I think, to take it off. And if the next administration sees they got to have it, then they can put it back on. But I think that we can do it without any harm to the employees or any harm to the county. But I just feel like that it's something that we promised the people, and I don't want to say that we lied to the people. And that's all I have, Judge.
All right, Bobby?
Just a few things, Judge. We're doing some pothole patching finally, and hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, the weather permitting, and we can still get the asphalt and stuff, we'll be able to lay some asphalt. Jackie Darrell over in our district, the people have been patient, but they're getting impatient and stuff, and I understand that. But they were days that we'd call 2 or 3 different plants that we was hauling from, and they were using the wrong mix, or they were shut down, or they, will be open next week and stuff like that. It was just back and forth. But we are doing a little bit there. My roads crew's doing a fine job on that. I don't like to have a meeting without mentioning the Pride organization or my senior citizens over there. Those people in the senior citizen group, and Susie Stanley, my director, does a great job over there with them. They had a luau last week, or week before last, I believe it was. And I think tomorrow it's going to be Cowboy Day or something, and I'm looking for a cowboy hat to wear, but they do a great job, and I really appreciate them and what they do. I appreciate that Pride group too, Jimmy Dale, and all that you all do, and when you're picking up the litter, and we just got to keep picking it up, and it's a shame that we got to do that. I'd like to get to a point to where we go pick up litter on a road that I can come back 2 weeks later and there not be no litter on it, but I ain't found that yet. I don't know if there's a road like that in Pike County. I ain't found it, but we'll just keep on doing it, and thank you, Jimmy Dale, for the job y'all do. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Treasurer's business, Frankie.
Acknowledge receipt of the Treasurer's August 2018 financial statement.
Motion acknowledged.
You got a roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes.
Authorize any necessary transfers and interfund transfers to pay the bills, payroll, health, life, and dental insurance.
Second.
Roll call, Judge.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes.
Authorize payment of the expenditure approval list dated September 17, 2018, and any other utility and telephone bills received before we run checks.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes.
Acknowledge receipt of the Sheriff's 2550 report for August 2018.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes.
Authorize checks for registration, lodging, and expenses for those who wish to attend the 44th Annual CAECO Conference and Exposition. The dates will be November 14th through the 16th, 2018 at the Lexington Convention Center in Lexington, Kentucky.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deaskin.
Yes.
Authorize checks for registration, lodging, and expenses for those who wish to attend the 2018 Kentucky Jailers Fall-Winter Conference. The dates is December 10th through the 14th, 2018, at the University Plaza Hotel in Bowling Green.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deaskin.
Yes.
Authorize checks for registration, lodging, and expenses for Ronnie Dwayne Dotson to attend the GIE Plus Expo Conference. The dates are October 17th through the 19th, 2018, at the Louisville Convention Center in Louisville, Kentucky. It's for a small engine repair class training.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deaskin.
Yes.
When we got the grant for the Upper Pompey Road, it was approved that those funds, that we can draw down advanced funding on that project and pass it through to the contractor instead of the county paying up front and getting the money back later. They do have requirements on how quick you draw the money out and write the check and get the cleared check and things back to them. So I would ask the court for a standing order, since we awarded the bid for the Upper Pompey Road at the last court meeting, that an authorization for a standing order to pay Hawkeye Contracting and Summit Engineering as advance funds are received for the FEMA 4217 Hazard Mitigation Project, which would be the Fish Trap Connector Road, Upper Pompey Road, and that's all pass-through money.
Motion.
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deaskin.
Yes.
Authorize reimbursement to Kyle Deskins for lodging and mileage for attending the administrative hearing for the solid waste in Frankfort, Kentucky, in the amount of $243.34.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deaskin.
Yes.
Under additional treasurer's business are those hazard mitigation buyout invoices that were given to me this morning. We have two on FEMA 4057, which is the Rocky Court grant. Authorize a check to Frank Nall for buyout of Timothy Atkins, total price $60,465, and a check to Frank Nall for Danny Cheney and Rosa Cheney for the amount of $68,295.
That's pass-through money, right?
Pass through.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Yes. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deaskin.
Yes.
And on the FEMA 1925 hazard mitigation buyout, we have two invoices. So authorize payment to Frank Nall for buyout of Lonetta Hunt. Total price is $90,306. And another check to Frank Nall for Roger McCoy and Susan McCoy. Total price is $84,216.
Motion. Second. These
Roll
people
call,
have been,
please.
how many years, Jimmy?
Oh, God.
I'd say that 1925 grant's probably been 6 years in the making.
6 or 7, yeah.
They've been waiting on their money.
Been a long time.
They moved out of it 5 years ago or more.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson.
Yes.
Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes,
That's all I have, Judge.
thank you. All right, we need to go into executive session to discuss personnel and possible litigation. Bobby Varney, will you please read the KRS?
Yes, sir, Judge. At this time, I'd like to make a motion that we do go into executive session and in accordance of KRS 61.810, paragraph C, discuss proposed or pending litigation, and paragraph F, discuss specific personnel.
Need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson? Yes. Magistrate Kempton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson? Yes. Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes, we'll be in the executive session for a few minutes. The court meeting will resume. Justin Maynard, personnel has the following recommendations.
Yes, Judge. Gentlemen, the following recommendations are up for approval. It is approval to transfer Christopher Casey from Road Lot 1 to Road Lot 5 as a truck driver at the same rate of pay. Approval to transfer William Dodson from Road Lot 5 to Road Lot 1 as a truck driver at the same rate of pay. Approval to accept the resignation of Grant Coleman effective 9/6/18. Approval to hire Pamela Robinson temporarily as a cashier in the solid waste office at a 3H rate of pay effective 9/10/18. Approval to hire Jesse Mullins temporarily as a mini packer / packer driver at solid waste area 1 at a 3H rate of pay. Approval for Greg Blankenship to have donated sick time ending on 11/15/18. Approval to hire Kevin Wolford temporarily at Road Lot 5 as a truck driver at a 3H rate of pay effective 9/12/18. Approval to terminate Joel Irick effective 9/12/18. Approval to rescind Lisa Atkins' resignation effective 9/1/18. Approval to move Chris Anderson from loader to truck driver at Recycle at a 3H rate of pay. That is all.
These are my recommendations and my motion. I need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson? Magistrate Kempton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes. Public comment, Stephen Stratton?
Stephanie?
Huh?
Stephanie?
Stephanie Stratton. There you are.
Hello, everyone. My name's Stephanie Stratton. I know you guys probably aren't aware of what I've been doing, but for the last 3 years of my life, I have been working on putting a trail system for Pike County together. I have not collected one dime of pay for this, nor have I came to the fiscal court before to make anyone aware of what I've been doing. This is a private effort in an attempt to give our county an economy and an industry again. As of right now, I'm aware that your system is working with private landowners. And I'm also aware that this has been on the docket for 40 years. We have had no one that has been a trail coordinator that has been able to make the connections between the companies, the royalty companies, the private landowners, and is aware of exactly how our abandoned rail line system works. I have been to Willard Kinzer. I have been to Chris Ratliff. I've been to Kevin Ratliff, and I have also spoke with Ross Harris Group, which gave me permission to use all of their land that they spent $75,000 of their own money with Summit Engineering, getting a map trail system to run through Meat House. I have those plans with me today. As of right now, we are over 100,000 acres put together. We have a trailhead located on Highway 119, which is 5.6 miles from the Pikeville intersection where Walmart is, on the left. This is a private piece of property. We are not connected to the county nor to the city, yet this past weekend was the first time the county and the city have ever worked together in history. Our city stores came on a private piece of property to benefit our community. My father and I have decided that we are going to use our family property to benefit this community, whether it paid or not, because someone had to. Someone had to get together and figure this entire system out. Cabins, tourism is exactly what's going to replace coal. We have no jobs right now. The only thing that our youth have to do in this community is to hit the tops of the mountains on strip jobs on the weekends and get high, because there are no options. We've closed everything down in this city to build parking garages and more businesses, but we have forgot about the kids and where we need to be sending them. Everybody's on a cell phone, but yet my son grew up disabled his entire life. He couldn't walk, but at 15 years old, I had taught him how to run equipment and a dozer better than most grown men. I went to Belfry Technical because seeing what this is going to bring, I knew that I was having issues getting laborers in the construction field. So Bobby Branham called me, and I went over and take a look at his technical program because they were about to lose all their funding through the state. They couldn't get enough kids in there to meet their quotas. So when I went in, what I saw was kids on their phones, and they had no idea where they were going. If a child can sit and do this, they can operate a dozer. So I went to Wayne Supply, and now they're trying to develop a program with us to get our technical kids into an equipment operation. Lowe's has now had any child that comes through the Belfry Technical Program, they are a first option as a new hire with that corporation. All of our companies in this area are willing to work with that program because they know if they go through my program, they will be trained. I don't mess around. I don't have time to mess around. I have sold everything I have. I have given up every day of my life with my children to make all this happen. Everything I'm getting ready to show you on these maps, everyone will sign if we can get an amendment done for the right-of-way agreement. Some of this is going to be on active mining properties, some of it is not, but everyone is willing to work together to give us a right-of-way to get around. From the piece of property that we own on 119, I can drop you down into Zebulon, Johns Creek area, which has all been shut down because of the fact that we had a new highway came through 20 years ago with no utilities. No one was able to get out of the floodplains. No one was able to come up to the new 4-lane with their business and regain the ability to support their families. So it is still there and remaining, but the problem is most of it is shut down. If you come from our property directly down, we have 2 gas stations. We have restaurants. We have facilities that we could house a small ATV town just like Gilbert, Del Barton, and Man, West Virginia is doing right now. What most people don't realize is when they drop down into that area, you can immediately shoot back up to the top of Ford Mountain, which drops you into Lower Johns Creek, into German Bridge, and picks up the Hatfield-McCoy footprint. I do have another piece of property that is located at the top of the airport road that we are also looking at for a trailhead. The biggest issue we have in this county is we have a very big lack of flat property. We had nowhere for anyone to come in, park, get armbands on, and get to where they needed to go. So we have now, out of our own pockets, established that area. It is safe, it is gated, and we have control over both entrances and exits. The main road will run through Coon Creek. The reason being, 100 years ago, that was our main highway. It ran from town through Coon Creek, and then it would drop over from Grassy Gap into Kemper, which tops out and drops down into Meat House, where you can pick up Blackberry and the Hatfield-McCoy Trail. At this point, I'm asking for the court to work with me to try to put this together. I would have never came forward. I was scared to death to come forward. But the answer is so simple for me. I know how to fix everything. And now I have the landowners and the people with the amount of power in this state to work with us to turn Pike County around. Do you all have any questions? Would you like to see the maps?
Have you got agreements signed with these coal companies right now?
The only thing that we are waiting is exactly how that it would need to be worded, and they are 100% aware of working with me and on board to do so.
I know we've been working for several years trying to get agreements drawn up with the coal companies.
Yes, sir.
And we've not had a whole lot of luck. Jim has been able to get some of them agreeing to sign, but I wondered how many you have already got signed.
Sir, just to be honest with you, I have tried to work with the county the entire time, to which I have had my throat cut. I've had some very underhanded things that have happened, and I've never asked for anything from the county for what I was doing. I am a festival child. My uncle is the man who worked with Grady to produce Hillbilly Days. So therefore, the way I grow up, this is natural to me. I went and worked myself to Form 119 Fairgrounds with the help of my father. It normally takes about 100 people to put the show on each year, and I did most of this myself. Okay? This is just the way my brain works, and I have been in these meetings to find out exactly why that they would not work with the county.
I know we've had meetings for several years, and I haven't seen yet any of them, and I was just wondering why, you know, if you're working on these things, that you hadn't came to our county meetings that we had here in the courthouse on the last Thursday of each month, and we used to meet at Phelps. We've been doing this for several years now, trying to get the coal companies to come in line with.
I have accomplished more in this year by myself than you all have in the last 40.
Well, do you have it in writing?
I can get you whatever you need by the next meeting, Hillman.
You know, they promised this and promised that, but I mean, we've got to have something documented.
Well, actually, Ross Harris Group gave you up into Meat House. This was presented to you a few years ago, which was put on the back burner. So technically, you guys have owned into Meat House this entire time.
Who did they give it to?
Ross Harris Group spent their own money and presented this to the fiscal court.
They didn't give us anything. We've been meeting with the Ross Harris Group, haven't we, Herbie, and trying to get some agreements and things prior to you coming. You might have seen John Doug had several meetings.
This was previous to this administration.
Do what?
This was previous.
Well, I've been here for 25 years.
Yes.
And I've not heard anything from them, other than we have been talking about, we had some land they needed, and they were going to work with us and give us permission. But Ross Harris Group has got a lot of property over around the Phelps area where we have our trails.
Yes, they do. And I have their map, and I am the only person that has a copy of the map.
But, you know, you're the person that we need to help us. You know, Pike County needs everybody coming together.
I will tell you, at the rate you're at, you're not going to get your trail system together.
What?
At the rate you're at, this trail system is going to take 100 years. We are broke, we are poor, and we have no options around here. I am handing you a plan today that will work, and I can bring them all here with me in support of this.
Well, that's what we need.
Perfect,
you know,
with me.
Whatever it takes, it takes us all working together to make this thing work. It's not me or you or
Mr. Dodson, I've been working 3 years without a dime.
Well, you know, we didn't make you do it.
Mr. Bevins is who I was directed to work with.
He is our director as of right now.
As of right now, yes, he is. I was told to stay away from the fiscal court and not to come forward with my plans, to let him handle it.
Who told you that?
Mr. Jim Bevins, the trail coordinator for the Pike County Fiscal Court.
Oh, why didn't you come? I mean,
because I was directed by your trail coordinator not to be here and to allow him to handle that.
Well, you know, I can't speak for him.
No, you cannot.
But, you know, we would have welcomed anybody that wants to help.
That's why I'm here today, sir.
You got some maps, Stephanie, that you're...
Yes, I do.
Can you make copies of them available to the court?
I can't make copies of the big ones. Some of these I will have to get permission before I can give out, because they are privately owned pieces of property right now.
Because I don't think we're going to be able to go through maps to that.
No.
I would rather not.
Can you ask 911 to make one?
These all came from the PDA's office. They've all been working with me.
Okay.
And 911.
Oh, those are your copies? Okay, okay.
Well, we can make copies of them.
Charles did that map for you. He's probably got it.
Charles did do this map. This is a map of our piece of property and exactly what it shows, how much we will be able to handle and what campgrounds we have. The next map is the Ross Harris map.
Yeah.
It will show you what they have mapped and what I have access to right now. The following map is the Harley-Davidson map. What no one seems to understand is that Harley has now named all of our trail systems William. Eastern Kentucky is officially the heart of the dragon, which connects to Deal's Gap, which is the tail of the dragon, which is
just need a copy of the maps.
Could you make a copy of that map for me?
I understand that you all need a copy
He,
of this map.
there's 911 man, he can take it.
Stephanie, we've got a lot of trails mapped out by Summit Engineering. Have you been talking to them? We paid around $100,000 to have them map out our trails, and
Yes, sir.
they have it all over there.
It's here.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, I don't know if you've been watching and following the trails, but I have pushed these trails
Yes, sir.
through the last administration, this administration, trying to get it to happen.
Yes, sir.
And we weren't able to get anything going on our trail systems.
Yes, sir.
And I just wonder sometimes how West Virginia was so much smarter than Pike County.
That's why I went to West Virginia to work with them.
To get all their trails in, and we've not had any luck.
Well, I can tell you that West Virginia is working with me much better than Kentucky has. As a matter of fact, in the trail that you guys have proposed for next weekend is illegal.
Do what now?
Your Heritage Days trail that has been proposed, you are only allowed to go 0.3 miles on blacktop. That is an illegal trail.
I don't understand what you're saying. What?
If you are over the trails, who do I need to speak to about it then?
I don't know what you're talking about, the 3 miles.
Well, that would be what your DOT rules are on your trails. If you are over the trails, this is your responsibility to have that information. Mr. Bevins would not let me run a trail system out last year because he told me I would go over 0.3 miles on the blacktop, to which I contacted the DOT. I had them come to my property, and I had them walk me over every single point to show me exactly at what point it became illegal to be on blacktop any further. I do have a corporate attorney ready to put this entire trail system into a corporation. That's what we're definitely looking at right now, because the way it's going, nothing's going to change around here. Nothing's going to get done. No one seems to be able to offer the taxpayers and the people any sort of benefit for signing over the rights of their property.
Well, listen, get those copies made and give them back to us, and we'll go over it and see what we can do.
Well, we can copy them if you don't have. We would be interested in working with you anyway.
So if I do give up my trail plan, what is the benefit in this for me?
The benefit's what you've been talking about building a better Pike County.
That's exactly right. So therefore, if you do have a trail coordinator, and he is the person who has been keeping progress from happening so much in the last week or two.
Well, we'll help you all we can. We got to move on, and we have 10 minutes, and you've been up about 15. So we got another person to come up and speak a little.
Okay.
And get the maps made and then get with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephanie.
And you can use the county 911 system, I guess, if we need to make copies of it.
Right here he is. Give him that, and he'll make it. In the blue.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Mike? Okay.
There, and gentlemen, you see. Well, as most of you know, I'm Mike May, and it's been said that I should mind my own business, but I sort of figure some of the things to do with the county is my business. Well, I'm going to start out here. It may be none of my business. But now this one, we're going to start out with the number 3 picture. We had had a surplus auction here a while back. And surplus, what is surplus equipment? Is it equipment you're not
Jeff, you wanna listen to me, or, okay?
I, for one, don't want to listen to you, Mike.
Hey, good riddance. Boy, now, you know, folks, ain't that something? And I guess, you know, but most of the people that don't want to listen to me is because they ain't, you know, well, if I'm stepping on their toes or rattling their thing. But anyway, this right here is Belfry Road lot with 2 tag-along trailers that, you know, but with their backhoe is always trammed wherever it goes all over District 6. And I mean, that right there, this one here that you can see, the other, there is another trailer there. There are 2 of them there. But this is a Backhoe Pro. That's the name of it. But anyway, let me move on. I just wanted to put that one out there.
What's your point, Mike? What are you trying to say? I mean, as you go through the pictures, tell us what it's about.
Hey, I just did. They're not being used. You could have maybe auctioned them off. I mean,
why are they not being used?
Maybe you should ask your District 6 magistrate or the road foreman or somebody over at Hillman. I mean, I don't know. I think, you know, good question.
I know we use ours about every day or so.
Well, you know, you're in District 5, are you not, Hillman?
That's exactly right.
And the other folks, as I've said, I don't know, you know, but maybe I just bring because District 6, and you know, I've complained about me watching. Well, I'm not the only one watching. I get calls, and I have watched before this past Judge Deskins, before you come in here. Even the other administration, they just got on to me recently, and they see me, but there are more eyes over there. But one reason I wanted to move on with some of these other pictures, now the drain pipe done over at Eric Street. There we had, well, the truck going through there. I had one with the thing there, but they was a agreement supposedly signed with a property owner, and it was to keep water off the road is the reason these drain pipe was put in, and turn around. Well, now this picture here y'all won't have a copy of, but for years they seem to be in most places don't have no problem with water running on the road. But that was one of the things supposedly of that. The other, they said, was to allow a turnaround. Well, I don't know where they've been turning around for years, but this here, Judge, is number 2. And Judge, I really wanted you to look at these because I know you've been in construction business and you talk of this stuff, but whenever you sit there and you're looking at that, there's plenty of room there. If you can see in your picture, you know, that's will go nowhere to say you need a turnaround and to allow a turnaround. And who, if there's somebody salting the road or doing whatever, the property owner is the one benefiting. Now, let's go to the picture number 1. It shows the like 80 foot of drain pipe that was put in. The end of a hardtop comes right up shy of where this holler. Now, if the county will want to claim a hollow running out and to take on the expense of putting drain pipe and such in, I mean, I don't think that's good. And I was throwed a little loop on the 10th of the mile that supposedly this had been in. And Jackie Darrell, I've got a question. Is there anything, where did you get that covers a 10th of the mile?
According to Lisa and Herbie, they looked it up and they found where it was 1/10 of a mile put in the road system from the old bridge that had collapsed there from the truck backing out, had been closed for several years.
Yeah, where it
So
was
they told
took in
me
the-
it on the report was 1/10 of a mile, and that's what Danny and Bobby said, it was said in their book.
Well-
I looked myself, but I just took their word for it.
Right, and you know, they was measuring from here, said it barely come to it, then it didn't. But the only thing I had seen where it showed 1/10 of a mile, Jackie Darrell, it did not show nothing where it was took into the system in 85. Now, the master road deal or what have you, which has roads in there that's not in the system, but are referenced in 911 situations. The only thing the reason I wanted to ask you that is the only thing I showed that it showed 1/10 of a mile on was that. Where it was took in the system or any other information, I'd ask for some of this information. And also the width it shows being 1/10 of a mile. But, you know, common sense, and whenever you have people, that's like, supposedly there's a road scholar over in District 6 as a road foreman. I think, you know, and it's like that if the court don't want to do work for someone, they're calling it felony, they're doing this, they're doing that. But if you can get somebody to go do it, they will defend it, they will twist around there the word, yes, it's legal. But I think, but the thing with the pictures was showing now, you know, for instance, a turnaround. Now, if you can go and this is the 8x10 judge that I'd give you, this one here. If you can get any relation to where that drain pipe was put in to benefit for a turnaround, you're doing better than I am. And what I'm asking, Judge, is I would like for you, I know I was here last meeting, said a little bit, but if you would go look at it, which I think the pictures say a lot, and I would like to get some definite on the footage of that road if there's any, because I have been told, and I had a scenario exactly like that a few years ago, and they told me it stops where the hard top ends. But now, you know, because I had the same scenario of drain pipe and so on. I know you're looking at your watch there, Bill, but bear with me if you would, please. I mean, I come here, I would just like to get a little better dealings with, and this right here, no, I happened to find this out by the truck going through the bridge. And I've been told I'm nosy, and I guess I am. I went over checking things out and found this out. But actually, each and every one of you, y'all ought to be absolutely... well, what are we supposed to do, go over there and build a turnaround? That's the point, that you don't need a turnaround, never have. What I'm saying, that the agreement there is BS, Bill. You know, there was plenty of room. There was no, the pictures speak for it, but I would like for you, now Herbie, you have been over there, haven't you, Herbie?
Been over there several times.
Okay, and you know, there's no call for a turnaround. There's no reasonable thing in where the drain pipe is. Now, would you want to turn a truck there?
The trucks that they're turning there are the garbage trucks.
Okay.
And I understand that they do have a difficulty in turning there, and that's why that the agreement was made with the landowner so that our employee could turn the truck there without the big garbage, not the big garbage truck, but I looked at the unit that turns up there, and it was not unreasonable to, when they did that work, to level it out a little bit so that they'd have a good place to turn.
Well, the pictures show we always had a place to turn. Now, where the drain pipe...
There was a double wide in there, and there wasn't a place to turn there in front of that double wide. And they took the double wide out, and it made it a larger place where they could back in there and turn around.
Back this side, where the picture of the...
There was a double wide in there.
Yes, they was, yes, but picture of the excavator, there's plenty of room and always has been back here. Now, where the drain pipe, are you saying, this picture here, that's the 8 by 10, Judge?
What is your concern?
That they done work that shouldn't have been done on the expense of a drain pipe and the county doing work in that holler. That is my complaint.
All they did was improve a county road that's listed 1/10 of a mile. We measured it out, and if we'd worked on all the county road, we'd gone up into, as Jackie Darrell says, squirrel land. And we're trying to work those things out and straighten them out as best we can. But in 1985, when that road was admitted into the road system, they listed as 1/10 of a mile.
I did not find that.
Well, you were furnished it.
Not where, there was no width or length on the one in 85. The only thing was a master road thing that came later that showed that and showed it to be 1/10 of a mile wide.
That's how we define the roads. We can't go back and change the records to make them do that.
But they was no, when it was took in the system, they was, the 1/10 of the mile was not on there.
Yes, it was. In 1985, yes, it was.
Well, I've got
Your time, 10 minutes.
Well, Judge, okay, I was hoping you'd do a little better, but I will say that, give me one more thing, and I'll direct this to Herbie. You was really determined on tags for out-of-state folks here on a couple of meetings, were you not? And quite diligent in digging in. Well, I'll leave you with this one. Okay, let's see if you'll be that diligent checking out your road foreman over there. Mr. Branham has been seen driving around in a vehicle with Tennessee tags. Sir, no, Herbie. I'm going to a vehicle. You made an issue of Tennessee tags with Chip Guzlin. I'm saying. Okay, are you following me?
Well, listen, we got to...
Who owns the car?
Well, you was diligent enough to go and check that, but Danny Branham had been seen driving a vehicle with Tennessee tags recently.
Go out and check that out.
Well, you did with Chip Guzlin. I know, everybody ain't treated fairly or whatnot, even...
We treated him more than fair.
Well, I'm just... Whatever you go from here to there, Herbie, but even with this road deal, I would like to see more, but when it was took into the system, there was no length on it. And Judge, thanks, and I hope, Judge Deskins, you will take a look at this. And it would even maybe, I said this before, I would love to come in and talk to you and get Jackie Darrell and whoever.
Well, I'll go over there and take a look at it, and
Hey.
I'll give you my opinion.
Okay,
As soon as I can get time.
will you contact me and let me meet with you, fellers?
What's your telephone number?
353-4911.
4911. 353-4911.
And Judge, I would appreciate it, and to just hey, Bobby, glad to see you back. I guess you knew my time was up.
Write that number down. Sure.
I'll come around and collect my pictures.
3911 or 4911.
4911. Hey.
Make me a card and put it on my desk. All right.
You bring that up on that truck and he's gonna make I gotta go to another point.
Have a good day, Bob.
Hey, Mike.
Have a good day, yeah.
Mike, are you asking what the width of the road is?
I'm saying, Kyle, that what they're showing, what I got, showed 1/10 of a mile long, 1/10 of a mile, but not when it was took in the system. This.
Okay, well, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. If it's not, in the absence of a record or landmark, the right-of-way of a public road, which all county roads are public roads, shall be deemed to extend to and include the shoulders and ditch lines adjacent to said road.
I understand that.
So,
Right.
if it doesn't say anything, that's what it is.
The reason I referred to that, Kyle, was because of common sense, that you ought to know that you shouldn't be doing work on it, and that when you see it was a 1/10 of a mile wide, that you should, that should strike.
Couldn't have been
Well,
a
they
10th
didn't
mile
go a
wide,
10th
it might have been a 10th mile long.
That's what I'm saying, yes, that's exactly.
1/10 of a mile wide, 528 feet.
But it couldn't have been a 10th of a mile wide. Ain't no way.
And it's not a 1/10 of a mile long either, to take into.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, before you sit down, back when Paul Patton was the judge, he gathered up all the public roads.
I got that, 1985, is that not,
And
it did not show the length.
and he made them county roads.
Yes.
And gave them a number and a name. They had no deeds for them roads. And we just claimed what they was using. And we maintained the creek and the ditch on the width. So, that could be some of the problem with the measurements.
Well, did you, about the measurement or not, did you look at the pictures?
I looked at them. You do a good job taking pictures. I have to give you credit for that. Them was good pictures.
All right, public comment, Commissioners and Director, Jack Darrell?
Yeah, we got Leo, he's wanting to go down next week and pick up him a pickup truck at the auction, the state auction, I think it is. And we need the court to approve. And if any of y'all others has got something you want to do, we need the court to approve a maximum amount of a check that they can take down there. And only one I'm aware of now is Leo wants to buy a pickup truck, and I don't think anybody else wants to buy anything. So we got to give the authority to get a check to the clerk there and treasurer to write a check where they can purchase the vehicle down there. So we need the court to approve Leo going down and buying a truck, which Gary's going to go down to Foreman, and Mr. Compton, a professional buyer here, he's really good at the job. He's going to go down there too, and he's going to help us out, make sure
No
we get
more than 15,000.
What now?
No more than 15,000. It'll come out of his account anyway.
Well, I know, what's a pickup truck he's buying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to,
Not to
if we
exceed
can.
15,000.
Not to
They got
exceed.
several down there right now, don't they?
And we're trying to get it cheaper than that, though, but that's just a max on it.
It would,
Everybody else want to say anything?
Well, that's why I say we need to set the limit on the check, that way.
If you had something else we needed, we move the limit up a little bit.
well, that only takes care of Leo.
Yep.
Frankfurt.
And, if the court would make a motion on that so he can get that done. And then I wanted to say one other comment. Sometimes you got to keep following up on things state. I called him last week with him and I mentioned flex money and a few other people. And I talked to him, and that guy down there told me they've changed several hands down there, and the same people's there before is not there. And he said the reason we hadn't got Pike County approved was that we had 99 roads in that deal. I said, everyone told you that, told you wrong, because I think we got 9. So after I talked to them Wednesday, they got on the ball, and I think we've got it, and approved it today.
What did he say we had? I'm sorry.
He said Pike County had 99 roads to be hardtop, and I said, no, that's not true. They had stuff mixed up with some other county or some way.
I don't think nobody.
But
No, we'll do that.
it's lined out right now, though.
If he'll send us money, we'll hard top 99 up.
Okay. I don't think that'll happen, though.
I don't believe you're gonna get none hard top. It's all a bunch of jibber jabber. We've been 2 years trying to get blacktop. Can't get nothing.
Well,
They always busy
says they will
somewhere
be here
else.
either this week. I should be there this week now, if according to the people and all the roads there. I think all the magistrates wants to flex money to be Mountain Enterprise because they do a good job. They put it down, they clean the hard top, they sweep it, and they put tack down, and that makes the 2 layers become 1. And so hopefully they're through with the 23 job. They told me we're just using that stuff that we don't use, and they's finished that, and so it's supposed to be in here really, I believe it was this week or next one. But hopefully help's on the way.
That'd be good if we can get it done before they do 460 and Mountain Parkway.
True enough.
They've already done half of Mountain Parkway.
We're just at their mercy where they're the only ones that does it. It's a shame we got more competition. We wouldn't have to be at the mercy, but it is what it is.
Still need authorization, somebody to make a motion for authorization for a check to state surplus not to exceed $15,000.
Motion. Second. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy. Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Barney.
Yes.
Judge Deskin.
Yes. Paul, do you have anything?
Judge, I just want to thank my men, thank all the county workers for what they do. And thank the jail warden, Brian Morris, the help he's been giving us through the work release program, because we can't do it without them. Bring it.
Okay. You have anything? You have anything? Well, all right. Yeah, go ahead.
October will be what we call litter month, the whole month. Anybody wants to pick up a little garbage, just holler at me and I'll get them some bags and gloves to work with.
Okay. All right. County Attorney's report.
I don't think I have anything to report other than what we've already done.
Pike County Judge Executive's comments. I think a motion to adjourn.
Bill, I believe we got something we're supposed to be bringing up here about this occupational tax. Have a first reading on it. I thought you was gonna do that.
Y'all want it, that's fine. Got a copy of it?
You want?
I don't have a copy. Who's got the copy?
I sent it to Jeannie, that's.
You gonna make it, man?
Okay, all I sent was the body of it. This is, you have to put the additional information in there. Okay. Okay. Right, there's another section. That's why I had emailed it to her to put the rest of it in, but this should be okay. This will be the first reading to repeal the occupational and license tax or fee. Whereas KRS 68.197 and KRS 68.198 provide that a fiscal court of the county having a population of 30,000 or more may by ordinance impose license fees on franchises, provide for licensing any business, trade, occupation, or profession, and the using, holding, or exhibiting of any animal, article, or other thing. And whereas the Pike County Fiscal Court enacted County Ordinance 06.30.15.002, an amended county ordinance levying an occupational license requirement and payment of an occupational license fee or tax by persons and business entities conducting business, occupations, and professions within the county of Pike. And whereas the Pike Fiscal Court desires to repeal the aforementioned County Ordinance 06.30.15.002. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Pike County, Commonwealth of Kentucky, that the County Ordinance 06.30.15.002 is hereby repealed as of blank day, and from that date shall have no further effect.
First reading?
That's the first reading.
All right, you're finished. Okay. I'll
guess
make
so.
a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Magistrate Dodson. Yeah, Robinson. And then Dodson. Barney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.